The animated Anarchy series presents the animated Showdown.
We are here. It is a Wednesday afternoon. Well, it's Saturday night as we're recording this, but this is a Wednesday afternoon. It's around lunchtime. Probably by the end of this, we're going to make you want to lose your lunch. But this is Animated Showdown, the premiere episode, and we are continuing the Animated Anarchy series, the debut episode of Animated Showdown. I am, of course, your host, Dutchie, joined as always by Money E.
What's up?
Sean.
Hello.
And our wild card, Dave.
Let's get it.
All right. So if you joined us Saturday night, you know the Animated Anarchy series has started. Black Clover inched out a victory over Sailor Moon 3-2. G.I. Joe won a matchup 3-1 over SpongeBob SquarePants. Rick and Morty beat King of the Hill 3-1. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles defeated Transformers 3-0. So what that means is Ninja Turtles got a sweep. They get 30 points. Transformers gets -10, which I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card. And then, of course, G.I. Joe and Rick and Morty each got 20 points. Black Clover got 10. Sailor Moon got 5. Now, here we are, but those were different categories. Today we're doing different categories on this episode. As a matter of fact, now for anybody that needs an explanation as to how this works, 2 shows are going to go head to head. Tonight's battles are Hunter x Hunter versus Dragon Ball Z, Attack on Titan versus the Gargoyles, DuckTales versus Rugrats, and our main event is Bob's Burgers versus the Flintstones. 61 people have 4 cartoons in each division. It's going to be a series of matchups, so this is going to be going on for quite a while. We're going to have an awful lot of content for the next several weeks, months, maybe years. And
it's probably going into 2026.
Probably. All right. But also, we have 11 categories that we are working with, but we're only going to use 5. So it's a best of 5 series. If you win 3-0, you get 30 points. 3-1 gets you 20. 3-2 gets you 10 and gets the loser 5. If you are the cartoon that is swept, I'm taking 10 away from you. Just ask the Transformers. But we are going to go, and the categories that we have to choose from here, I'm going to run the randomizer, and it's going to tell us what 5 categories we are going to use tonight. But we have cultural impact, voice acting, fan base, overall enjoyment, theme song, character development, humor, animation style, memorable moments, originality, and merchandise. I'm just going to randomize this one time, and then we're going to figure out what we're doing. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Hopefully it's not the same 5.
All right. Well, 2 of them are.
Oh, okay. Okay. Better than 3 of 5.
So, again, we are starting with cultural impact.
Wow.
But then we are going to character development, which is interesting. Memorable moments.
Okay.
Or it's voice acting, then memorable moments. Voice acting, memorable moments. And then the last one is animation style.
Ooh.
So, kind of on a different different spectrum here.
Yes, sir.
So,
I
all
like
right. And I think we kind of like that. Not all shows should be alike.
It is interesting that the Reminizer started cultural impact #1
Yeah.
again.
It just wants us to hear talk about the cultural impact of everything. All right. Up
Nothing wrong with
first,
that.
I see nothing wrong with it. Up first is an anime battle. Hunter x Hunter versus Dragon Ball Z. Hunter x Hunter is in the division representing Kathy Bianco. And Dragon Ball Z is in the division represented by her husband's uncle, Joey Bianco. So Family Feud. All right. We'll just go ahead, get it started. Cultural impact. Everybody knows what Dragon Ball Z is.
Yes, sir.
Play the video games, watch the shows. You know, obviously, you know, the figures. Again, we talked on the debut episode of Animated Hour of Power, Comic-Cons. You see a lot of people dressed as Dragon Ball Z characters at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Hunter x Hunter, probably not so much. I mean, maybe like anime conventions.
I never heard of the show until this series.
Yeah. And what's funny is that it's available on Peacock, but you can only get it with subtitles. So I watched like the first 3 episodes in Japanese, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to follow this. So,
I think I watched it on Crunchyroll.
Yeah. I haven't used Crunchyroll. I mean, I have the information to use for Crunchyroll, but I haven't used it yet because I can still get everything on Hulu and Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But my need for Crunchyroll, I'm pretty sure, is coming. So thank you again
Thank
for
you,
that,
Dave,
Dave.
for that.
Yep.
No problem.
Dave is our angel when it comes to anime.
And thank you for letting us use your account.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Makes it
Share the
so
wealth.
everything's available, yeah.
Yeah. So
They don't put no restrictions on that, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, do they have like Netflix where you only can watch 1 at a time or 2 at a time?
Like, I think you can make 4 different accounts, but anybody can just sign in to the account and just boom. So it don't really matter.
So as far as cultural impact, obviously, you know, Dragon Ball Z has been super popular for so long, but Hunter x Hunter is fantastic in its own right. Dave, you are our anime god. Hopefully I don't offend. I mean, Sean was just making a hand gesture. I thought Sean was just like, wait a minute, what about me?
No, he's
He was giving me the holy hands.
Yeah.
Or
So
he's risen.
Dave, you are our anime expert, so we're going to let you start off on this. As far as cultural impact between the two, who gets the nod?
Dragon Ball Z blows them away with a Kamehameha. All right. So, cultural impact. Everybody knows Dragon Ball Z. Everybody knows Goku. People talk about them and you can debate them all the time. You know, so it's debatably one of the greatest animes to ever exist. So, yeah.
And there's other Dragon Ball Z's that we have in this contest.
Yeah.
Yep.
3 of them, I believe. Or there's 2 others besides this one. All right, Sean?
Dragon Ball Z. No explanation needed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Name
think
says
so.
it
All
all.
right. Eric, go ahead, even though Dragon Ball Z has already won the category.
Dragon Ball says it all. The name says it all. That's all.
All right.
Easy
Carry
statement to say.
1-0. 1-0. They win 2 more categories. They sweep. Yep, character development is up next. And what's cool about anime, even though like I'm more of a cartoon guy, but what's cool about anime is because of the storyline progression, you get to see characters develop more and more. Like with a lot of cartoons, especially back in the 90s, especially like Nickelodeon cartoons, you don't see a lot of I mean, you do, but you don't, because it's just like they don't really follow a story.
Right.
Yeah, like
Anime,
Rugrats.
yeah, which we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
That's why I said it.
But because of the but anime follows storylines. Their story arcs are pretty good. But Sean, who did it better?
Dragon Ball Z. Just the development through Goku's character alone.
Yep.
And then the development of his kid and just all the other characters involved.
Yeah.
I think I haven't watched enough Hunter to really classify him. To see development.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
I haven't watched that enough yet.
even if I did, I think Dragon Ball Z would have still taken it. I think it was just done better.
Okay. Go ahead, Dave.
I'm gonna go with Hunter x Hunter here. The character development I feel is fairly superior to Dragon Ball, with its multi-layered character, complex moral ambiguity, and greater focus on supporting cast. Like, yes, Goku, he doesn't yes, he gets stronger, and he like that's what it's all about. He gets better at fighting. He gets another ability he can use. He can go Super Saiyan. That's very iconic. But character development through going through traumas and stuff like that, I feel like Hunter x Hunter had more to deal with, more in depth with that side. Dragon Ball Z was more battling. It wasn't super detailed with the character depth.
I mean, very good point. And by the way, like before you raised your hand, I actually was going to go to you next because I had a feeling that you might have gone a different direction, but I wasn't sure. But it's just like once you raised your hand, then I figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
But
I can't discredit Sean. He's watched Dragon Ball Z,
yeah,
but he hasn't watched enough of Hunter x Hunter to see the development of the characters and see what they've gone through. So I can't blame him there.
Yeah,
that's why I brought it up too. Like, I didn't want to sound biased towards one, but I haven't seen enough Hunter v Hunter to answer, like, honestly.
And that's the thing is that like we are going to continue to watch this stuff as we go along.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So our opinions could change.
Yeah, exactly. Eric.
I'm going with Dragon Ball.
I hate giving you power, but you're going to break the tie.
Dragon Ball, because I never heard of Hunter x Hunter before this, and I haven't watched enough yet to really have a fully developed opinion.
Right. All right. Dragon Ball Z is up 2-0. They win one more. They sweep. And Hunter x Hunter has to go into the negatives. But that doesn't mean they're not going to be able to dig themselves out of it.
Yeah.
Because this is just their first match.
Yeah.
They got plenty more to go. Voice acting. So the voice acting, again, because it's anime and these were English dubbed actors, the voice acting obviously, may be similar, but like I feel like in Dragon Ball Z, there's more like obviously more enthusiasm with the battles, but in Hunter x Hunter, when they want to take that test, like the guy, and I'm still trying to learn the characters' names, but the guy in the suit,
gone?
Yeah,
The main character?
the taller guy. No, the taller guy.
Mm,
Suit and glasses.
suit and glasses. Ooh.
Like he wants to be a hunter because he wants to be rich.
I had to turn on my lights.
Leroy.
Yeah, he's the one. He wants the hunter. He wants to be a hunter because he wants all the glory and the money. Like the person that voices him, I feel like he is like a. It's done perfectly because he really does sound like okay. He's just in. It's not his destiny to be a hunter. It's his dream to be a hunter because he wants to make the money. He wants the world recognition. The blonde-haired girl, that's with them.
Kurapika.
Yeah. She wants to be a hunter because she feels like it is her destiny to be a hunter. And the other kid, he doesn't know why he wants it yet. He just knows he wants to be one.
Yeah.
But they're like the voice acting there. Well, the voice acting in both shows is tremendous. But
it also has to do something with the main character. Also has to do something with his father.
Yeah,
that's why he went into it.
Yeah. So all right, Dave, we'll start with you first. Voice acting.
Voice acting. See, this one was pretty tough for me to pick a side. But with voice acting, I'm gonna have to go with Dragon Ball Z here. Just Goku's voice alone carries weight. You hear his voice, and you could be walking by, you know who that is. I'm sorry to say, but when you stand out like that, it really means something. So, I mean, it's very iconic. Goku's voice alone carries this over Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
Okay. Sean?
I agree with Dave. Dragon Ball.
Okay.
And Vegeta. I mean,
Yeah.
I love that dude and his character.
All right. Eric, go ahead.
Dragon Ball Z. Same as these two, what they said. I thought it was more recognizable.
Okay. So Dragon Ball Z is going to win this 3-0. So they get the sweep. They get 30 points. Hunter x Hunter loses 10, but that doesn't mean they're out of it yet. Just wasn't their day, wasn't their categories.
Tough matchup. You're going against a legendary anime.
But also, too, again, it's like I said on Animated Hour of Power. You have to, when you're debuting new shows, which is what we're doing, start off big. And I thought this was a big matchup.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So Dragon Ball Z gets the 30 points. So Joey Bianco, 30 points for one of his cartoons or one of his shows in his division. All right. Now, opposite sides of the spectrum. And by the way, this is twice that this is going to happen. Attack on Titan versus Gargoyles. Attack on Titan is an anime. Gargoyles is not. Gargoyles is a Disney show.
Yep.
Attack on Titan is in the division of Randy Marsh. Gargoyles is in the division of Sean Stranahan. Cultural impact is the first category. Gargoyles still has an impact on people because they are still releasing like merchandise. And it was a very popular cartoon back in the 90s. And Attack on Titan, obviously, it's an anime. It's not necessarily... I mean, it's well known within the anime community, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But Gargoyles also, too, had a cultural impact on people. Like I said, because they they put out new action figures for it. New comic book series came out for it. A board game came out a few years ago about Gargoyles, or Gargoyles board game. The Nintendo game has just been upgraded to where you can get it on the Switch too.
Oh wow.
So, but Attack on Titan still, it has its impact in the anime community. So, all right, cultural impact, Dave. I'm starting with you again on this one.
This one is kind of tough, but I mean, Attack on Titan is what I'm going with here. It's sold 140 million copies, making it one of the best-selling mangas ever.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it
That's quite the
signifies.
impact.
Yeah, for sure. So I feel like it's making a global impact. It's not just it's anime community, but the anime community is growing and it stretches everywhere.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it's more relevant nowadays. It has more fans nowadays than Gargoyle does. So I think it captures more people into it.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, again, like Gargoyles, yeah, they are kind of making a resurgence with a lot of the stuff that is coming out for them, but Attack on Titan, because Attack on Titan was just a few years ago, right?
Yeah. It's not too long ago.
Yeah. So, sure. And again, like, there's a difference between like a Comic-Con or a retro toy convention and an anime convention.
Yeah.
Right? You could see people dressed up as some of these characters, dressed up maybe as a Titan at an anime convention.
Right. Or one of the like a scout regiment or something like that.
Yeah.
Like the suits or whatever that they wore.
Yeah.
Certain characters.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, Eric.
I'm going to go Gargoyles.
Okay.
I just think maybe, I mean, Dave says it's hard, but from what I know, I think.
Yeah. I really do think that like answers are going to change as battles go on, because as we start watching more, then our opinions may change. Yeah. But Sean, all right, you're gonna break the tie on this one.
I had Attack on Titan winning this one.
Okay.
I think just the quick growth out of how little time it's been out is just very impressive.
Yeah.
And Gargoyles is kind of like one of those, I don't know, generational shows. Like,
I don't think you're wrong.
But, I mean, granted, the year difference of when these shows were out.
Yeah.
Hearing them is massive.
Again, like I just said, opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I
think even when Gargoyles was out, it had just kind of like its own thing. And Attack on Titan's already a part of a certain community that garnishes its viewership.
Yeah.
So, Attack on Titan wins it for me.
Okay. All right, we're going to go to character development. Again, so with an anime, the character development gets more and more. It develops more and more.
Yeah.
Because of story arcs. But Gargoyles is kind of the exception to the cartoon rule, because there are, times, and it actually happens quite a few times within the series, where there is a story arc.
Yeah.
Okay? And the characters develop. At the beginning of the series, Goliath and crew were gargoyles who were betrayed by the human race, so they want to, bite the heads off all the humans. Then they befriend Eliza Maza, who is a police officer, and she kind of teaches them that, hey, no, that's not a good idea. Well, because it is kind of considered murder. And they develop. But look at the characters on Attack on Titan. And again, I'm not good with names yet, but the kid who lost his mom in that first episode,
Aaron.
Yeah, thank you. And his development. Now I'm only like 2 episodes in, but still, he develops, because at first, he felt like, losing your mom and seeing, your mom, get eaten by a Titan and all that. It's just like
Traumatic.
it's traumatic, but there's a development, but as the series goes on, he develops. So, Sean, I'm going to start with you first.
I'm going to go with Attack on Titan. I think they have so much more potential for character development than Gargoyles did.
Okay.
And I don't know. I'm more intrigued on the character development in that show than I was for Gargoyles. I was kind of not very interested in Gargoyles characters.
Fair enough. You know what's funny is when I was a kid, I wasn't necessarily interested in Gargoyles. Like I was always done watching cartoons by the time it came on.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like I started getting older and started like watching cartoons more and more for doing podcasts like this that I started getting into it. So it really didn't have like my attention or whatever when I was a kid. So I can understand that.
I think for me, it's more when Gargoyles was out, I was way too young to really understand it.
Well, yeah, it came out in 1994. You were only a year old.
Yeah, but even watching it now, it's kind of like, I don't like this was a show. Like,
yeah,
it's not
not everybody's cup of tea.
It's just like it gave me a weird feeling watching it. It was just weird. It's like I should be watching Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. It felt like Batman.
All right, Eric, go ahead.
I'm going with Titan. I think there was more characters in the show to develop, more characters that stood out.
Okay. Dave? I mean, we already know who wins the category.
Yeah, I felt like you could went either way depending on how you like your characters developed. I mean, the Gargoyles did have like villain complexity, heroic journeys, and self-discovery, and they included Shakespeare themes, particular portrayals of figures like Macbeth, and then Attack on Titan, who's who I'm going with here. It was just more realistic, nuanced. Characters are depicted with their flaws and internal struggles, and their actions are shaped by their experiences and beliefs. So I just feel like they have more depth to them than the Gargoyles.
Right? I mean, that's fair. All right. So they're up 2-0. And they could win on the next category, which is voice acting.
Ooh.
And now what's funny about Gargoyles is the voice actors and Gargoyles, a lot of them come from Star Trek.
Yep.
Okay. So that's one of the reasons why Gargoyles was so popular is because you had Star Trek people voicing them.
Yeah.
Also, you had Ed Asner voicing one of the characters. Ed Asner's a legend.
Keith David from Star Trek?
Huh?
Keith David, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Goliath.
Yeah. He's the guy from like he was a couple characters in Modern Warfare, the video game.
Yeah.
And he also voices the president in Rick and Morty.
So yeah, he's always loaned his voice to. He's a very famous voice actor.
So distinct too. You know exactly who it is.
Yeah, exactly. Now, in Attack on Titan, again, it's an anime, so this is obviously the dubbed version, but the voice actors really lay into the voice. Like, it's not boring whatsoever.
Yep.
Like, so I did not find myself bored at all listening to these people talk. So, all right, Eric, I'm going to start with you.
I'm going with Titan. As you said, I think the voices were more passionate about what they were doing.
Yeah. All right, Sean.
It's very close, but I'll give it to Attack on Titan as well, just because of like what you just said. Like, you know, they put a lot more effort.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, like, Keith David is one of my favorite voice actors.
Yeah, and we're not saying they did a bad job. We're just saying Attack on Titan did better.
Yeah, I think it was just more aggressive.
Yeah. All right, Dave, what's for you?
Yeah, I give high praise to the voice acting in Gargoyles, but Attack on Titan takes this. I mean, like you said, in the first 2 episodes, you see Aaron's mother get chomped away, and he's screaming, crying, like something very dramatic, and it makes it feel real. You know, you can really relate and feel how he's feeling. So, yeah, I just got to go with Attack on Titan. It draws your emotions in with their voice acting.
Now, by the way, when the mother is trapped in that first episode, when she is trapped and the one guy's just like, don't worry, I know how to kill Titans. I got this. And then he looked at the Titan. He's like, you know what? Maybe I don't. And he backpedaled. I was just like, oh, you are such. I mean, I would probably do the same thing. But it was just like, you know, Attack on Titan. And obviously, I'm excited to watch more. They win 3-0. They get the 30 points, just like Dragon Ball Z just did, just like Ninja Turtles did an animated Hour of Power.
3 straight sweeps.
So they get the 30 points. Gargoyles gets 10 taken away from them. That doesn't mean Gargoyles is out.
Yep, exactly.
It just means they can't go up against anime.
Certain ones, certain animes.
There's some anime that
and it depends on the characters, or like not the characters, but the categories. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, and we've been saying that for how long now?
We'll keep saying it until we're blue in the face.
Yeah. I mean, Dave's already got blue on his shirt. but yeah, so Attack on Titan, big victory for Randy Marsh's division. They win, 3-0, so he gets 30 points. I don't see that happening in this next battle. Neither does Sean.
I do not.
DuckTales versus Rugrats.
This was hard.
You talk about the 2 leaders of their networks.
Yep.
DuckTales is really what rose. Adventures of the Gummy Bears and Adventures of the Gummy Bears is really what started like the Disney animated series revolution. I'm really hyping up Adventures of the Gummy Bears because it's on Dave's wife's team. But
it's on your shirt, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but DuckTales is what really helped put Disney in that top tier of animated series. Rugrats, one of the original Nicktoons, did the same thing for Nickelodeon. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, so cultural impact is the first category. Both shows back in their day had a cultural impact. Now there was a resurgence, obviously. Both shows were brought back in reboots. The DuckTales reboot, I actually think, did better than the Rugrats reboot. But it's another one of those things to where you see a lot more people. I see a lot of people. I have a Rugrats shirt, so obviously I wear a Rugrats shirt. Going on like Amazon and going into like novelty stores like an FYE, you see a lot of Rugrats stuff, but also too because of Funko Pops, you see a lot of DuckTales Funko Pops out there as well. But as far as cultural impact, Eric, who gets it?
This was a very, very close one. I have to give the edge to Rugrats.
Okay.
I think I don't want to say Nickelodeon was more popular, but I just think Rugrats has more of especially with '90s babies like us.
Right. I mean, if you say Nickelodeon is more popular, I disagree with that because nothing is more popular than Disney.
Yeah, that's why I was hesitant to say that.
Yeah.
But I'm a Nickelodeon guy. I'm a Nickelodeon fan.
Right, which is fair. I'm more of a Disney guy, but but yeah, no, I can see your point, but also too, like, by the way, I should mention that DuckTales is representing Sue Hummer's division. Rugrats, by the way, Sue Hummer happens to be my mother. Rugrats is representing Mark Ritchie's division.
Which is one of your friends.
Yeah, a friend of mine from back in the day.
Yep.
So, but all right. So Eric goes Rugrats on that. Dave, what say you?
I actually agree with Eric here. I give this, it's a slight edge, but I do give it to the Rugrats. I think it's a really close one here, but the Rugrats have a little bit higher in merchandise sales and whatnot, so I feel like it resonated with a little more with the fans.
Yeah, especially more now because again, I really do feel like you see a lot more people in like Rugrats garb than you do DuckTales. Now,
Right.
I'm not saying that you're going to see people walking around in diapers at Comic-Con.
Yeah,
You never know.
You never know these days, though.
Never know,
You never
yeah.
know.
I mean,
Never
you
know.
will actually see like people like because they do have merchandise for both shows at like retro toy conventions and Comic Cons and all that stuff. So they both are still very popular.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
And they
Oh,
both
for
had
sure.
an impact.
Yeah.
Sean, we already know who's winning the category, but go ahead.
Rugrats. I think a big thing about DuckTales was it was kind of like in the realm of Bugs Bunny and all that stuff. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just that kind of story arc of, Disney doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Rugrats was its own thing and, solidified itself up to the top. So Rugrats all day.
Okay. All right. They're up 1-0. They're 2 away from getting 30 points themselves.
I don't see that happening.
We'll see. Character development's up next.
Ooh.
And the funny thing is, you have Scrooge McDuck, you have his 3 nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, you have Launchpad. Now, the development here is that, there are some episodes, and you see it more with, like, Disney shows. Nickelodeon, you don't see a lot of shows doing, like, story arcs.
Right.
Okay? There is room for development in a Disney show. And DuckTales did prove that, because there was quite a few, like, 3-part episodes in there.
Mm-hmm.
And the characters did develop. Like when Scrooge first got his nephews, he was miserable. And he did not want them. Now, he was still miserable as the series went on, but you could see more of a soft spot develop for him.
Yep.
And, the boys grew up. And Launchpad started out, he was an idiot pilot. He was still an idiot pilot, but he was also given like more of a personality, and he became a hero in a lot of the episodes. And by the way, he ended up also on another show too. Rugrats, they're babies. And yet, like, there's a little bit of development. Like, Angelica starts off as like a horrible bully. But like you do feel for her in some episodes.
Yeah.
And like you could say that like there's a little bit of development like with Chucky too, because he's always scared, but there are times when he has that little bit of courage.
Yeah.
So, but as far as character development, Dave, who did it better?
I'm actually gonna go with DuckTales here. I think they did a little bit better job with the with the character development, even though Rugrats did an okay job, it's more relationships and context of early childhood and relationships between children. That's kind of basically where that's at, and it didn't really go much more than that. Um, so I had to give it to DuckTales.
Okay. Sean?
I'm actually going with Rugrats because I think, even though it was kind of minor with the character development for the children, it still developed like their friendship.
Okay.
But also, you saw the parents' growth, becoming better parents, and like how you said, like Chucky was afraid, and so was his dad, was like afraid to get, out there dating again after his mom died and stuff.
Yeah.
Eventually, he grew the strength too, and I think it was just a good basis around the whole show. Is you're not just watching the kids grow, you're watching their parents grow as better parents.
Okay.
And
Fair
then
point.
Yeah, this is a fair
crazy,
point.
crazy old grandpa
That's
just
fair,
getting a little crazier every episode.
Yeah. All right, Eric, I hate giving you power, but go ahead.
Rugrats, one of my favorite shows growing up, as you know, Doug. But I'm going with DuckTales here because with Rugrats they never grew up. They were always the same age and always the same character. I mean, there was development, but at least with DuckTales, there was more story on it.
Yeah. And by the way, like they did eventually grow up. Now it was an all new show called All Grown Up. But they did eventually grow up. I mean, it took another show for it to happen. But yeah, so all right, 1-1. It's been a while since we've had a 1-1. So all right, the next category is voice acting. And the funny thing is that like with the voice acting in DuckTales, obviously the boys talk like ducks. Scrooge talks like he just came in off the, one of the British ships.
Yeah, I love it too.
Yeah.
I love how he talks like that.
I love that accent, and I'll tell you, like there always seemed to be like a lot of emotion with those characters in those voices.
Mm-hmm.
But you could also say the same thing for Rugrats too, especially when Tommy would get everybody fired up, and he would give like a
his little baby speech.
Yeah, his little baby speech. And if we get to memorable moments, like we'll talk a little bit about like one of the speeches when he talked. Every time he hypes up how good of a guy his grandpa is, and then you just want to stand up and be like, "Yeah, go get him, Tommy, you little bald-headed." Anyway, but there's a lot of emotion that came out of the voice acting for both shows.
I agree.
Like it was more humorous, I think, with DuckTales, but it was also motivational with Rugrats. Eric, I'm going to start with you.
I'm going with DuckTales because I think I like to hear a duck talk than baby. Does that make sense? I think it's funnier.
So I can't do a duck voice or else I'll blow up my vocal cords.
I just think ducks talking is more funnier than a baby. Nothing against a baby.
Yeah. So all right, Dave.
Yeah, I actually agree with Eric here. I'm going with DuckTales as well. Scrooge really did it for me. I love the British accent, so it kind of gives it that slight edge over Rugrats to me.
Yeah.
So that's really what did it in for me. I really was brought in by that, and I enjoyed it. So.
Yeah. All right, Sean.
Same. DuckTales. More enjoyable and more entertaining.
Exactly.
So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. The cartoon classic Rugrats made it all the way to the semifinals, losing obviously to Pokemon in a very close one. Yep. DuckTales was not part of the cartoon classic.
If it was,
I
I think
think-
it would have gone far.
It probably would have, I think. But the fact that, and again, this is not over by a long shot. We still have 2 categories left.
Yeah.
But this is one of the more competitive ones that we've seen in the last few that we've done.
Mhm.
We haven't had
Memorable
5.
moments. What did you say, Eric?
Oof.
We haven't gone 5 since the first one.
Yeah. But memorable moments. We talked for length in the Cartoon Classic about all of Rugrats' memorable moments. I talked earlier, just a few seconds ago. Tommy giving the speech. It was when they had to retrieve Grandpa's teeth from the geese.
Yep.
And he's just like, I have to go get my grandpa's teeth. Everything he does for me, my grandpa's the greatest person on earth. And he just, and they're fighting geese for an old man's teeth. What about when Angelica was accused of stealing Susie Carmichael's tricycle? And Angelica had, because Angelica went and got her own tricycle, looked exactly like Susie Carmichael's. They thought Susie's had been stolen out of the shed, and Angelica had the red paint from the shed on her hands. And Susie made her pay by strapping Cynthia, Angelica's doll, to a balloon and letting it go. And but then finding out that Susie's dad had just moved the tricycle to under the porch.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that episode.
Yeah.
What about the episode when another memorable moment is when Chucky and Tommy try to open up Stu, Tommy's dad, with a screwdriver because they think he's a robot.
Pretty
How-
funny.
the
So
one with the dog food. I forgot.
yeah. Or when they tried to recreate their own circus.
Yep. Sleepover.
Yeah. DuckTales, however, they had memorable moments themselves. There was an episode where the Bugle Boys, who were the villains for Scrooge McDuck, all the villains always tried to steal Scrooge McDuck's first dollar that he ever made.
Mhm.
And the Bugle Boys actually were able to disguise themselves as Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And by the way, all this was going on while Scrooge was getting interviewed for a magazine article. There was the episode where the boys were Boy Scouts, and Launchpad was their troop leader, and their friend, and I can't believe they actually had a character named this, but their friend Doofus got superpowers, and he was earning all his badges by using his superpowers, and it was really ticking the boys off. So both shows have had their share of memorable moments. What was more memorable, though, Sean? Or who had the better memorable moments?
I gotta go with the Rugrats.
Okay.
I just can picture and watch that memorable moment happen in my head more than I can for DuckTales.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. That's all I got.
Dave?
Yeah, I agree with Sean here. The memories of the Rugrats are more, they resonate with me more. The characters themselves, some of the episodes, I mean, you can talk about them and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that one. Like it was yesterday. DuckTales, not as much.
Right. Eric, go ahead.
I'm going with Rugrats. I watched it more, and I remember more from the episodes and all that.
Now, do you think that maybe we kind of remember more of Rugrats because we had to watch so much of it for the Cartoon Classic?
Maybe. But I also watched it before
I watched it more
before I was even on here. I would sit here and watch it here and there.
Okay.
Just before I
Yeah, I
was
didn't-
even invited on the pod.
I mean, because like for me, that would be like I would kind of pick Rugrats just because I've watched more Rugrats, obviously because I've had to do the show.
Right.
I'm not saying that DuckTales isn't good because I think DuckTales is
Right.
very good,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but also too, and I'm just saying is that like maybe also too, take into effect we've watched a lot more Rugrats than we have DuckTales.
So it's more ingrained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I did watch more Rugrats as a kid, so
Yeah, well, and also that too, and I'm not discounting that. I'm just saying is that like that's also like a possibility too. Is like we remember more Rugrats because
That's
more
It was-
recent.
it's more recent. They were part of a league battle that we watched a lot of episodes for. And by the way, they had they had to go 4 times.
It's
Yeah.
more engine or head,
Yeah, but
if that's how you say it.
yeah, it's like more ingrained in our memory. I think.
Yeah, yes.
But
Thank
also too, if you did like Rugrats more as a kid or even now as an adult, that also plays a part in it.
Right.
Yep.
But I'm also saying like for me, I would probably pick Rugrats just because I've watched it more,
Hmm.
especially
Exactly.
recently. All right, so it's tied 2-2. We're at the last category. Somebody's getting 10 points. Somebody's getting 5.
I expected it to go 5.
Yeah. And this isn't even the main event.
Mhm.
No,
That is coming up.
you could argue
Animation,
this could have been the main event.
it probably should have. But again, trying to make the premiere episodes bigger. That's what I'm doing,
But you did a good job, Doug.
I think. All right. Animation style. Disney animation versus Nickelodeon animation. I said countless times on the cartoon, or when we did the cartoon classic, that I think Nickelodeon had the best animation. Disney was no slouch, and I'm not saying that they were, but so this is tough. So I'm gonna kind of let you guys just kind of like battle it out a little bit. And I'm actually gonna start. Sean, I'm gonna start with you. Maybe I shouldn't have.
I'm gonna no. I think DuckTales deserves this one because it was a bit cleaner, in my opinion.
Okay.
Rugrats at times you could, I don't know, it kind of seemed like wavy. You're like just not right. I don't know how to put it.
Okay.
I mean, they cleaned it up in the later years, obviously.
Yeah.
I think DuckTales just was a lot cleaner, so I'm gonna give it to them.
Okay. Eric.
I'm going Rugrats. I'm the opposite. I think Rugrats is more cleaner. Because I think it came out later too, and I think
Oh yeah, it came out. DuckTales came out in '87. Rugrats came out in '91.
so I thought, in my opinion, Rugrats is more cleaner.
By the way, Rugrats was the second Nickelodeon cartoon developed. So, take that how you will.
Yep.
All right, Dave. Talk yourself through this. Do whatever you. I think this is a hard decision.
It is.
I'm
It
glad
is.
I don't have to make it. So
Um,
have at it.
yeah, but for this, it's a slight edge, a very slight edge. But I think they did it more technical. Their lines were cleaner, and I think it was a little more difficult for them to provide this animation, depending on what they made. And this goes to DuckTales.
Okay.
I think it's harder to draw multiple ducks. I think it's harder to just to do the animation as clean as they did at the period of when they started. Rugrats, they could have been more defined. They could have had cleaner backgrounds. They could have, they could have had a little better animation quality, but it just wasn't up to par compared to DuckTales.
Okay.
That's fair.
This was a hell of a battle.
Yeah.
DuckTales wins at 3-2. DuckTales gets 10 points. Rugrats gets 5. So this was one of the harder battles to go through, but it's main event time. And this one, again, we talked earlier, Attack on Titan versus Gargoyles, opposite ends of the spectrum. So is this. Bob's Burgers versus the Flintstones.
Yep.
All right, Bob's Burgers representing Sharon Wander, my Aunt Sharon's division. The Flintstones representing Chris Jacinto, Eric's brother's division.
Yep.
So, the in-laws are not going to be happy with each other, Eric. We're going to have a rocky relationship for a while.
Flintstones is one of your favorites.
Yeah.
So,
But notice I didn't put that shirt on. All right. We start off with cultural impact.
and isn't Sharon's one of her favorite shows Bob's Burgers?
Yes. But she also grew up watching the Flintstones as well.
So this is hard for her too.
Yeah, but she's also not home. She went to go see Superman again with Daniel, so
Okay.
they have no idea what's going on right now. Cultural impact. Flintstones came out in 1960. Bob's Burgers came out, I believe, 2010.
Yeah, that's a really big gap. 50 years, if
Yeah.
my math is correct. Yeah.
So, yes, 50 years. Flintstones had the cultural impact for a while, but they kind of fell off. There really hasn't been a lot as far as the Flintstones go over the last 10, 15 years, maybe even longer than that. Bob's Burgers still has new seasons coming out.
Yep. That's how I watched recent.
Yeah. So as far as cultural impact, whose cultural impact was felt the biggest? Dave?
The Flintstones. Their cultural impact has lasted till this day. I mean, yabba dabba do.
Okay. I mean, I agree. I mean, I'm still a fan of the Flintstones.
Hmm.
Sean?
Flintstones. They definitely left their mark.
Yeah, their cultural impact, their groundbreaking status as the first animated primetime sitcom
Yeah.
Yep.
and a long-lasting presence.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Because they were still developing stuff for the show in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's 30 years.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I said, they've probably fallen off a little bit, over the last, decade or two, but still, there are still people. You can still find Flintstones merchandise online.
They have a cereal line, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric's getting passionate. Yeah, exactly. Fruity Pebbles. All right, Eric, go ahead. We already know who's winning the category, but
By the sound of my voice, I think you know who I'm going to choose.
oh yeah, I know, but I'm still contractually obligated to throw it to you.
Yeah, I know. And they left an impact, even though they have fallen a little bit over the last 15, 20 years. Their impact is still greater than Bob's Burgers.
Right.
Yep.
All right, Flintstones kicks it off. So we could be heading towards a sweep. I don't think so, but we know that at least Flintstones will not get swept.
Yep.
Character development. Now, with adult animated shows, it kind of, there's a little bit of, there's a lot of progression, just like there is in like anime, like especially as this series moves on. You see a lot of character development. So a character that seems annoying in episode 1, by the time they reach like episode 100 or 150, they might not be as annoying, or vice versa. But there's also a lot of character development in the Flintstones too. because you get to see Fred have a soft side every once in a while. And also, Bob and Bob's Burgers, you get to see that, like, the businessman, but also too, he can be a devoted father when he has to be. Like, he definitely developed a lot too over the years.
Tina
Tina
coming out of her shell.
Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect point there. She started off, she was a very awkward girl, but now she's kind of coming out of her shell, and she's, another good example of good character development. Eric, I'm starting with you.
I'm going to give it the Flintstones because obviously the two main ones, they developed more, and I haven't watched enough Bob's Burgers to fully see it. So.
Right. Sean?
I'm going to give it to Bob's Burgers. I think not only you're seeing individual character growth, you're watching a family grow as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't get that way from the Flintstones. It kind of just felt like they were just already, family oriented, I guess.
Right. No, I 100% agree with that. All right, Dave, you're breaking the tie. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going with Bob's Burgers here. I think they show a little more of the development with the Belchers, which is the family name.
Right.
Show them struggle with growth and exhibit more nuanced personalities and evolve over time. So I think they just did it a little bit better.
It helps that it's a more modern take of a show as well.
Yeah.
Like it kind of feels like you can relate to this family being in some rundown downtown city.
Yeah. Definitely more relatable.
Like Lockport.
So like the modern Stone Age family doesn't necessarily resonate with a lot of people.
No.
So I can definitely understand that. All right, 1-1. So no sweep. But all right, the next category is voice acting. And the thing, like Alan Reed, who voiced Fred Flintstone, and all the all the voice actors in the Flintstones, they really added a lot to the characters, I think. Mm-hmm. So do the voices in Bob's Burgers. I mean, look at, like, again, and it goes back to the character development of some of these characters. First of all, I think the guy who voices Eugene, the son, does a fantastic job. He's my favorite character on the show.
Same.
Yeah. Eugene is hilarious.
Yeah.
Louise is funny just because of how rebellious she is.
Yeah.
But, Eugene is great.
Yeah. Because he'll just come up with one-liners out of nowhere.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's like his whole character.
Yeah.
He's just that smart, bratty kid or dumb-witty kid, I should say.
Yeah. Louise is the brat.
Yeah.
But she does a fantastic job, too.
And then Tina's, like, the most logical, but the most...
Yeah.
Laid-back, shy.
Yeah, laid-back, shy lady.
Yeah. But also, too, as far as, like, one-liners go, Barney Rubble in the Flintstones. Yep. Like, he was hilarious.
Yeah.
But, and so, both shows really did well in that voice acting. But who did it better, Sean?
Bob's Burgers. I think there is more ability for them to be entertaining, more like energetic than they were in Flintstones acting.
Well, because I think also too with the Flintstones, like they were trying something new.
Yeah.
So I feel like they were kind of afraid to take the training wheels off. If that makes sense.
Felt like just some of the episodes were kind of like they're just boring.
Yeah.
Not the episode itself, but just like the acting just felt boring. And like just too simplicated.
Right.
if that's even a word.
I think it is. I mean,
Listen, if it sounds like a word,
Simplicit is the word here. What they call it.
thank you. Well, at least you know what I meant.
Eric, I'll go to you next.
I'm going Flintstones because the voice of Freddy and
Barney.
Barney, thank you. Are more recognized if you hear them just on like a ringtone or something.
Right. Dave, you got to break the tie again.
This one was kind of difficult for me because, I mean, Bob's Burgers, you got some characters that are pretty relatable, and their voice acting is pretty good for those characters. And then on the other side, you got Fred and Barney, who were pretty like remarkable characters with their voices. Like if you heard a voice, you would know who it is. I mean, Yabba Dabba Doo. I mean,
yeah,
that's still around to this day. I'm gonna have to give it to the Flintstones.
Dang.
To be able to be carried this far along from when this show originally released to have its name still relevant nowadays on somewhat. It's not super relevant, but people know about it. Everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
And
85 years.
so I feel like the voice acting on that
65
had to play a huge part in that.
Yeah, Eric, 65 years.
Yeah.
The Flintstones meet up with Archer down the road, and you guys pick Archer for voice acting. Hypocrites.
I mean, we'll see, but
I always say that the guy that plays that voices Archer is Bob.
Right. Yeah, that I knew.
He's in a crap load of other shows too.
Yeah. By the way, the guy who voices Fred and Barney now, because they did do a HBO Max did a spinoff, or did like a not necessarily a reboot, but kind of like a spinoff about Pebbles and Bam Bam.
Oh.
And the guy who voices Fred and Barney, Jeff Bergman, actually voices a bunch of other characters too. Like I think he actually voices some Looney Tunes.
Probably.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
but all right. So Flintstones is up 2-1. Memorable moments. Now, Flintstones wins this, they get 20. If Flintstones wins this category, they win the battle, they get 20 points. Bob's Burgers wins this, we go to the 5th category. Memorable moments. The Flintstones had plenty of them. So did Bob's Burgers. Like, as far as Bob's Burgers, when Louise is always known for having that, is it a cat beanie or a bunny beanie?
I think it's a bunny beanie.
It's a bunny beanie.
All right.
The
She
pink
always
bunny.
had that on her head.
Yeah.
Remember the episode when she lost it?
Yeah.
Freaking out.
Wore a hoodie the whole time.
Yeah. Because she didn't want anybody to see the top of her head. So, like, she freaked out because that's, like, part of her identity.
Yeah.
What about the episode when they go on a family vacation or something like that, and it's to recreate, like, some TV show that Linda watches?
Linda is such a good character on that show.
Yeah, she's great.
Or when Bob gets stuck in between the wall.
Yeah.
It needs the dude to help him out. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I hear you don't soon.
Or the episode when Bob goes to this light show thing for his birthday that he used to go to when he was a kid, and he took Eugene with him, and Eugene got freaked out by the lights.
Yeah.
And they couldn't go back in. But Eugene's just like, no, Dad, this is what you want to do. We're getting back in.
Or when Tina starts twerking and finally kiss that boy and then realize that it wasn't all that special.
Yeah. Now over to the Flintstones memorable moments. The episode where Barney and Betty Rubble adopt Bam Bam. And it became like a legal battle because there was another family that wanted to adopt Bam Bam, and they had more money than Barney and Betty. And the judge ruled in favor of that other couple. But then the guy got word that his wife was giving birth to another baby as they spoke. So they're like, you know what? The Rubbles can have Bam Bam. And Barney is standing on the edge of a bridge ready to jump into a creek. Okay? I don't even think it was a full river. It just looked like a creek.
Yeah. He was about to risk it all.
Yeah.
But in the movie, isn't it Fred like put up the money for him?
Yeah. In the movie, it's done way different.
Yeah, Fred like gave him the money.
Yeah, Fred gave him the money to adopt Bam Bam. So, but like Barney's about ready to jump into this creek, and he's got like a rock. He's got like a rock tied to him or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Fred's like, "No, Barney, you guys get Bam Bam." He gave Fred the rock, and Fred ended up getting dragged into the creek. There's the episode where Barney had to pretend to be Fred's son to appease Fred's Uncle Tex, because Uncle Tex wanted them to have a baby named Little Tex. And Fred tried to adopt the baby, but he made the mistake of telling the lady at the adoption agency that he was going to give the baby back after the weekend was over. So I think the lady called the cops on him, or like kicked him out or whatever.
Right.
But so many memorable moments for both shows. But who had the more memorable moments, Dave?
This one was tough. More memorable moments. I'm gonna have to go with Bob's Burgers with this one. I think the episodes stood out a little more, like with what was happening, and in certain episodes kind of stand out to me a little more than the Flintstones episodes pop into me. So I'd have to go with Bob's Burgers.
Eric?
I'm going with Flintstones. Again, I didn't watch enough Bob's Burgers to have more memorable moments, but Flintstones.
All right. Sean, you're breaking the tie. I could just tell you're so thrilled about that, too.
I know. It's a close one, but
Sorry, Sean.
I gotta go with Bob's Burgers.
I am not sure. Oh, sorry.
All right. We're tied. So it comes down to it. This is probably as difficult as the last one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though this is opposite ends of the spectrum.
100%.
Earlier on we had a battle that was opposite ends of the spectrum, and the current end of the spectrum absolutely blew away the other side.
Yeah.
Here, it's like neck and neck.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, especially if you're trying to get points. But all right, animation style is the last category. Again, very different. 1960s animation from Hanna-Barbera. 2010s animation from Fox Studios. Opposite ends of the spectrum. I mean, I think Hanna-Barbera was king back in the 60s and 70s. Even earlier than that. Well, actually, not yet. 50s and 60s, they were king. Even in the 80s, too, until they sold it off to Ted Turner. But Fox Studios, we know how successful they have been with their adult animated shows. And also, too, the fact that Bob's Burgers is still going after 15 years. They're progressing. But also the Flintstones did, too. So, Sean, I'm not going to make you go last this time. I'm going to have you go first. and he's still rolling his eyes.
I'm picking the Flintstones on this one. I think it was more creative for like that Stone Age look than it was for a modern day look with Bob's Burgers.
Okay. Dave, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to go on the opposite side. I'm gonna go with Bob's Burgers animation quality and style. I think it's cleaner, it's brighter, lines are a little more crisp. I just think their animation is a little more detailed.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh God, this means I gotta give Eric power.
I'm deciding between my brother and Aunt Sharon.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta choose wisely.
I'm choosing Bob's Burgers, and ironically, this is the only one I gave Bob's Burgers a win.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and explain it a little bit.
I think I do think I agree with Dave, but I think it's more cleaner. I like the modern day more better than the Stone Age. But that's just me. I prefer.
Well, not just you; it's Dave too.
Oh yeah, Dave too.
Yes, sir.
And I still like the Flintstones, but in this category.
Yeah. Everything just really came down to the categories.
100%.
Yep.
Like that's the beauty of picking different categories for each episode.
Imagine how different the last tournament would have been if we did it this way.
Yeah.
A lot different.
Oh yeah.
Are you kidding? Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Turtles might have gone to the finals.
Maybe.
Why do you gotta hit him where it hurts?
No.
They swept the Transformers earlier, so or not earlier, but on Animated Hour of Power. Although I do like Transformers too, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be biased towards anything. All right. So in this episode, we've had Dragon Ball Z beat Hunter x Hunter 3-0. We've had Attack on Titan beat Gargoyles 3-0. DuckTales beat Rugrats in a close one 3-2. Bob's Burgers beat the Flintstones in a close one 3-2. So even though they lost, Rugrats and Flintstones get 5 points. Hunter x Hunter and Gargoyles get 10 taken away. So they're in the negatives. So, all right. Coming up this upcoming Saturday will be episode 2 of Animated Hour of Power. And as a reminder, Animated Hour of Power's match is this upcoming Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So we're going to start doing things at 6 o'clock on Saturdays now because we also pre-record this show, Animated Showdown, on the same night. So just an important note for everybody. But Animated Hour of Power's second episode, which will be live next Saturday, is Our Real Monsters versus Real Ghostbusters, Yu Yu Hakusho versus Doug, Inspector Gadget versus Biker Mice from Mars, and the main event is Avatar Last Airbender versus Digimon. Dave winces every time I say it's Avatar Last Airbender versus Digimon because he's got to pick. Animated Showdown next week, episode 2. Super Mario World, not Super Mario Brothers Super Show, but Super Mario World versus Double Dragon. Jem and the Holograms versus Josie and the Pussycats. Samurai Champloo versus Samurai Jack. And Batman Beyond versus Spider-Man the Animated Series, which will be the main event for next week's Animated Showdown.
Okay.
Wow, Batman versus Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Now we got some samurais up against each other.
Yeah. I did that. I actually did that on purpose.
Yeah.
I figured it.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like the thinking there.
Yeah. But so that is next week. Make sure to follow Dave on Twitch at TCAX Godsaid95. Sean on Twitch at TCAX Reaper.
And TikTok.
TikTok and also YouTube when he decides to stream on those. Make sure to like and subscribe to the When Toons Combined YouTube channel because you can find Animated Hour of Power and Animated Showdown on that channel. Wrestling Through the Years YouTube channel. This upcoming Saturday, we are going to cover we're going to review SummerSlam 2000. The Stabcast with Dangle and Mindy, which is on Sundays. Make sure you follow that channel as well as Eric's Unscripted Sports Show channel and the Dizzle 97 channel, my brother Dangle's Gaming Universe. All right, guys. Heck of a premiere episode. Some of these were tough.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, especially the last two.
By the way, they were going to get tougher.
Yeah, I thought Flintstones was going to win.
It looked like it was. It looked like it was. By the way, you were the deciding vote.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I was going off what I put on my phone, so I had to. I wasn't going to change it just because it was.
Yeah.
Somebody I knew.
Your brother's going to make you sleep in a doghouse next time you go to Harrisburg. But yeah, so the battles are just going to get tougher. Again, next week. For both Animated Hour of Power and Animated Showdown, we are going to do the randomizer to find out what the categories are going to be. So it's going to be different category, like it's a different set of categories every episode. It's always going to change.
Yep.
So different set of 5 of the 11 that we have. Because we have to keep it interesting.
Exactly.
Sure.
So, all right.
It makes us watch it even more, so we can.
Yeah, exactly. So we know exactly what we're talking about, or at least we pretend to. So, all right, we'll see everybody We'll see everybody Saturday night for Animated Hour of Power.
Have a
Yes,
good
sir. Have a good one, boys.
Later.